It took a day of paddling to get from Lake Winnipeg to Oxford House. Chance brought us to the York family, and we were shown northern hospitality once again. We stayed 2 nights in their yard, and we were sent on our way with a lot of advice and a pickerel dinner by Bill, who had done the first 2 sections of our route himself. Back in the days of the fur trade, York boats were used on the route we were traveling. Today, they are still used in very popular races every summer.
Went alright. We were a little apprehensive at first, especially me, never running a rapid before and being in the back of the canoe. Nate especially scouted it out super well, and we decided we'd give it a shot, and we did a shoot on the right side, and we portaged all the gear around to be light, and it was a pretty good sized drop, but in the end, glad we did it. Good experience, and we made it through 90% dry.
From Norway House to the Etchemamish River, we traveled on the Nelson River, the natural drainage of Lake Winnipeg. The river is wide and grows to Mississippi size when it reaches the bay, just miles from where we would meet it ourselves. It's considered by many to be too dangerous to paddle. It also has been tamed by a series of large hydroelectric dams and is, without argue, a bit less scenic than the Hayes route to the bay.
Bill, thank you so much for the fish. We didn't quite make it to Harry Lake because we were too impatient to eat some good food. Thanks for all your hospitality. Hope you're having a great day.
Thank you, Bill.
So that was our first moose. I guess we didn't catch it fast enough. Bye.
I'd like to take a few moments to recognize a few key supporting characters in this story. Our lady friends who let us go, our parents who supported us in countless ways, Ryder who carried our loads and ourselves, the weather, supportive the whole way, the wind, I guess it did convince us to take a few breaks. Countless people along the way that showed us the biggest of small kindnesses, Matt Seifert who answered hundreds of questions before we even left, and last but not least, Hap Wilson. Jason and I never met this guy, but he was with us in spirit, because I guess this is the land where it lives. We didn't always get along the best with Hap, because sometimes we thought he was about as full of it as John Denver when he claimed the Rocky Mountains were rocky. His rating of rapids and mine are often markedly different, but Hap did write a pretty good guide for our route from Norway House to York Factory. All the hand-drawn maps you see are his, as well as a few of the quotes you'll be hearing. We left the high water behind when we left the Nelson River and the water flowing from the south, in order to enter a much drier drainage. This would prove convenient as we were technically paddling upstream the Etchemamish. Upstream may be a misleading word because there was very little current to paddle against. We hopped over beaver dams to gain elevation.
How's it going, Jason?
Pretty good. Got up 6:30 this morning. Got on the water around 7 from a willow campsite on the Etchemamish River. And we were on our way to Painted Stone Portage this morning with a lot of mosquitoes. Last night was the first night on the trip where I would classify the mosquitoes as bad, yes.
Good times. Did you use any bug spray?
No.
Oh, there's some in the yellow box. You want it?
I'm okay right now. When we're moving, it seems to be better.
The sweet smell of beaver.
Etchemamish, a Cree word, means water flows two ways, and oddly enough, this name was given to the river literally. When we got to the top of the drainage and Painted Stone Portage, we saw water flowing to the east as well as the west. Painted Stone Portage is important to the history of the region. First Nation peoples and fur traders liked the ability to hop between two drainages with relative ease. Painted Stone Portage was also sacred to First Nation peoples, and they would stop there at the Painted Stone when traveling through to meditate. The Hudson Bay Company found this layover to be inefficient, so they dynamited the stone. The Hayes would be the third and final river we would travel from one end to the other. It started small and slow. It's largely a series of lakes for the first 220 kilometers, which made for harder than expected progress.
I don't really know how to explain this one. Saw what we thought was a new looking bridge here, so we decided to pull over and see what we could see. Pulled up next to this boat that's been here for a while. Fish cleaning station right there, kind of smells and is nasty. Clothes, pop cans, tools, random things strewn throughout both sides of the bridge. Obviously somebody must camp here. Pretty nasty, really.
Ed, Patrick, thanks for putting those lures together. The first northern I saw hit it so hard, took the first hook right away, one bite. And then I got 3 more fish, northerns. Gonna cut them up and have a great dinner. Thanks.
Oh, the portage. In Canadian English, this would be a portage. The romantic connotation of the French accent is pure irony.
How's it coming, Nate?
This is hard.
Looks hard.
Hoo-wah. It's hot. It's buggy. It's a good time. Yeah, portaging.
1,325 meters, or 1.3 kilometers, is 300 meters less than a mile. Between Jason and I, the portage took 4 miles of walking, half of which was with heavy loads. This was by far the longest portage, and I'd bet that all other portages on the trip combined were less than this one, which is nothing to complain about. Nothing to complain about at all.
We just stopped for lunch and ran down this rapid. According to the book, it sounded like it was supposed to be fairly easy if you just hugged the left. Took out some weight to try and make it easier. We got part way into the rapid. Water was moving incredibly fast. Tried to stay left didn't work, so we just basically had to shoot the rapid. Hit a couple rocks. Almost fell out twice for myself. Pretty intense moment. Just finished reloading and ready to go again.
The beauty of this gorge was shadowed by a crisis of confidence. The rapid you just saw was ranked what I would have thought to have been very manageable for Jason and I. We took conservative precautions, yet still injured Ryder while barely avoiding a swim. The current was non-existent, and the next rapid we would encounter was far too large for our craft and her load. At camp this night we battled lower spirits. What I thought would have been the best part of the trip, the downhill section, was proving quite challenging. The Moosehead did not help.
It appears as if we are wind-bound.
What happens a couple months from now?
What?
Vikings start playing football again. I can spend my Sundays watching my favorite team win. Go Vikes.
Go Vikes. You know what I can start doing a couple months from now?
What's that?
Learn how to change diapers.
That's true.
On Oxford Lake, we had our second unplanned layover day.
It's not ridiculous.
Well, the last 3 weeks we had all crashed over the bow. Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous.
Okay.
The wind didn't offer respite until halfway through the second day of the island. There were some exciting crossings, but we made it to within viewing distance of Oxford House.
You want to tell us about Norman?
Norman's a York boat racer in the Oxford House team. He was out paddling this morning on his canoe that he's retrofitted with oars to practice for the big races. He's a very nice guy. Very friendly. We need one of these, Nate.
Maybe.
$60.
Only 60?
We could throw them. A little competition.
We decided later that you really can buy anything you want at the Northern, including high-def flat-screen TVs, camp fuel, and Spider-Man pajamas. But only if you pay the price.
One bottle of oil, $5.65. A jar of salsa, $5.09. Salty snacks, $3.50. Soft drinks, $1.48. Total of $17.96. Eating chips and salsa at Oxford House, priceless.